I'm sure you all know Necromancy is a strong combat style by now, but it's so strong that some elements of the game have become questionably easy. Let's talk about it, so whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Barrows Rise of the Six is a boss that is farmed in groups of 4 players for the extremely consistent money it provides through malevolent energy drops. It's very much a high level boss where you need to know what you're doing while also having good gear to kill the Barrows brothers easily. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be the one at death's office, and at Barrows Rise of the Six, there's a little room for error.
Button.
Oh!
Yes! Oh my god! Was that second try? Third try?
Yeah, not even hard.
Wow.
This feels like bug abuse. Now everything I just said doesn't matter as times have changed. Thanks to Necromancy having the most powerful AoE attack in the game, Rise of the Six has quite literally become easy mode. So easy in fact that you kind of don't even need to learn the mechanics at all. I mean, you could in case someone's timing's off or you mess up, but it really isn't necessary. All you need is 4 players with tier 90 necromancy weapons, the salve amity, some ghost hunter pieces or equipment, and as many crit boosting items as they can bring along, just to make it more consistent. So if they have the biting adventure perk, that's going to be great. If they have the Calgarian demon and scrolls, that's even better. If they have a grimoire and perhaps even a Reaver's ring, that's absolutely perfect. When my clanmates came to me and they said I could easily get a 0.6 second, so a 1-tick Barrows Rise of the Six kill with just these things, I was shocked. And at first I didn't really believe them because usually speed kills, at least when people approach me about them, take lots of attempts, RNG, and just perfect timing. And while this does require perfect timing, it's literally pressing 2 buttons. And for the person setting it up, maybe 3. It's absurd how easy, or should I say accessible, this method is to the average player. You do not need to be good at PvM to do this. All you need is to be able to communicate with 3 other players, preferably through voice chat because it makes it easier, time a Threads of Fate incantation correctly, and then use your Death Guard special attack on the combat dummy you've placed to delete the Barrows brothers. It's that simple. 2 key things. You're going to need to place your combat dummy in the middle where the middle brother spawns on either side, so both the west and eastern side. You do so by aligning yourself with this rock, walking to the portal, walking 1 step back, going 2 steps north, 1 step south, and then placing your combat dummy. These can be made with invention. Both sides have identical placement. Align yourself with the rock, 2 steps north, and then 1 step south, and place your dummy. This is perfect placement. You can check your placement by quick starting the fight by right-clicking the portal, and if the middle brother spawns behind the dummy, you've perfectly placed your dummy. In case you're familiar standing in the way, you will notice that your dummy will be placed towards your north, which is not something you want. You want it to be placed to your south. In this case, walk to the south and do the exact same thing, except this time you're going to walk 2 to the south from the middle point where you've aligned with the rock, then go 1 north, and then place your dummy. This should place it, again, perfectly in line with where the middle brother spawns, as you can see in the footage on screen. Okay, so you've got your gear and you know how to place the dummy. How does it actually work? How do you get those kills? Well, all you do is you build to 12 necrosis stacks to deal the max amount of damage using your weapon's special attack. You can do this with the Touch of Death ability, and if you use Living Death beforehand, using the Necromancy basic attack as well. Then all you need to do is time your Threads of Fate perfectly with everybody else, and this may take some practice at the PvM hub. This may not be perfect the first time, but then immediately after, you're going to want to mash your weapon special attack button, and if everything is going correctly, and the person who's responsible for starting the fight does it properly, they will instantly die. To make sure you don't accidentally use a different ability while setting this up after your Threads of Fate and mistime your special attack, I suggest, just for this boss or for your speed kills, turning off the Necromancy automatic basic attack and using the full manual combat mode. It is of vital importance that you keep your aggro on that combat dummy, so don't let it drop. Also, here's the POV of someone starting the fight. Use Threads of Fate, then immediately after, quick start the fight by right-clicking the portal and then spec on the dummy without losing aggro on that dummy. Or, alternatively, and this is the way to get a one-tick kill, is to use Threads of Fate while clicking the portal on the same tick, left-clicking, spacebar, and then pressing the 1 key on your keyboard plus clicking your special attack at the same time. That's how you get a 0.6 second kill, which is a little bit more tricky, but otherwise you can just use the quick start option and get kills at around like 1.8 seconds, and maybe if you mess up, a few seconds, which are still going to be very fast kills. The point is, it's not very difficult to do. Yes, you can mess up, and there will be kills. We do not kill the Barrows brothers instantly, but in that case, just use a Finger of Death, maybe a Death Skulls, and you're done. There may be some rough, really bad kills, but for the majority of the time, you're going to be deleting Barrows brothers in a second, or within a second. Or, if you really mess up, a couple seconds, which is still incredibly fast. The majority of your time is going to be spent running through the tunnels, trying to get to the end before you get clapped. Bringing food for this part and using the Persistent Rage Archaeology Relic is incredibly useful, because in that case you can just use Barricade and safely make it to the end. Now, for those of you who've been watching me for a while, you know that I like to dabble into PvP every so often. And the funny thing is, the Death Guard special attack works in PvP. Not only does it hit you with a mega hit, but it also stuns you if you were to survive. And the odds of you surviving this attack from a player that has 8 or more necrosis stacks are almost 0 unless you're anticipating it, you use a prayer and a defensive ability. Otherwise, you're dead. And even with a bunch of your friends, the odds are that you can all die pretty much at the same time, assuming the other player uses a Threads of Fate, because that works in PvP. So in multi-combat, you could potentially delete 5 players in a single ability. Now you're seeing me try and kill players that use a Power Burst of Vitality to double their HP. Sure, they're not praying, but it's effectively as if they were praying. Now sometimes you might survive, and this is from full health, mind you. But the thing is, in a real PvP fight, which are non-existent nowadays anyways, you're not going to be at full health. You're going to be down 1 to 2,000 HP. So to have the ability to hit a 9 to 10,000 on your opponent through prayer is absurd. On the other hand, your opponent having the ability to reflect 75% of their damage if they were to time their venge correctly could also knock you out, which is the funny part. Waiting for... Wait, I didn't get bit. Oh,
Nice.
Oh. That's beautiful, man. And what's funny is that you're able to build up necrosis stacks, and as long as you're the one getting attacked, not attacking first, you can keep your stacks and potentially retaliate and one-tap them, like what's happening here. And this is not a paid actor, by the way. This is just someone else that decided to attack me for whatever reason during warbands. And what he was met with was a 8-stack special attack, so not max stacks, but enough to KO them easily, unless they used Debilitate or Protect from Necromancy, and even then they probably would have died. You see me use the Split Soul incantation just to increase my odds of KOing that person, but it was absolutely not necessary. If you are the aggressor though, as seen in these 2 clip examples, your Adrenaline and Necrosis stacks will drain, so you'd probably have to use like Touch of Death, A-Pot into Spec or something to KO people. But the point remains, it is a very strong special attack for PvP. Now, if the Wilderness wasn't dead and I was able to find more than just that one player during a couple of warbands attempts, I would have shown you more PvP footage, but I'll likely have to host some kind of Necromancy-only Clan Wars event, which sounds like a lot of fun if I'm being entirely honest. Because there are more things about Necromancy that make it really interesting for PvP. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video about the Death Guard special attack, and if you did, leave a like down below and maybe even consider subscribing. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.